Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. If you love the Yankees but you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe, especially if you want to be kept up to date with the latest New York Yankees news or just for plain old New York Yankees discussion. Really quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for 15,000 subscribers. Such a blessing for the channel. It's such a blessing for me. I could not have done this without you guys. Your support, when you comment, you hit that like button, you share the video. It does so much for the channel. I don't think you guys understand the impact that it has. So I just want to thank you guys so much for 15,000. Your support means the world, and thank you for letting this dream of mine come true. So anyway, if you guys did not listen to John Boy's and Talkin' Jake's interview with Brian Cashman, I 100% highly recommend you listen to it. It was a great listen, a great watch if you watched it on YouTube. And Cashman had some interesting nuggets to share. Number one, I loved how open he was. I guarantee you he's going to win a lot of you guys over. He's going to win a lot of fans over with this interview. He was welcoming. I just feel like, no offense to Boone, he was a better interview than Boone. But I digress. Let's talk about what he had to say. And firstly, I want to talk about Blake Snell. Okay, and in fact, the Yankees were in on them. So those reports were true. Brian Cashman said, "Hey, we called Scott Boras. We had dialogue about Jordan Montgomery. We had dialogue about Blake Snell." He then goes on to say, "Hey, what typically happens when you contact the player's agent is, what is the player's floor? And then you go back and you say, okay, this is what we're comfortable with. And then if there's any serious lingo and if there's any seriousness to both of what you guys are saying, then you progress into a more serious conversation." Cashman did reveal another interesting nugget in all of this. Apparently, the reports that came out about, hey, Blake Snell was offered $150 for 6 years by the Yankees. Brian Cashman did not deny that the Yankees offered Blake Snell a contract. But what he did say was those reports of the money amount, the years, were inaccurate. They weren't true. So take that for what it's worth. So really, we don't know what the heck the Yankees offered Blake Snell, if what Brian Cashman is saying is true. Was it the $150 for 6? Was it the $150 for 5? Did he offer Blake Snell more money and Blake just said, no, I'm really dead set in getting those 9 years that I so desire? John Heyman reported a little later, maybe a couple weeks ago, but a little later after everything just crumbled when it came to Blake Snell and the Yankees, that the Yankees were prepared to give Blake Snell more money than Rodon. So with all that being said, I think the Yankees, in fact, were pretty interested and were pretty serious with Blake Snell. They just did not want to give him the years that he was commanding, that he was demanding. So, with all that being said, Brian Cashman let us in on something else that was so damn interesting. Supposedly, according to Mr. Brian Cashman, the Yankees did not intend to get Juan Soto and Verdugo and Grisham. They did not intend to get all three. In fact, Brian Cashman was using Boston as leverage in a potential Juan Soto deal. So maybe the Padres would cave. Then he basically said the same thing about San Diego. He was using them as leverage. So basically he was waiting, hey, who's going to bite first? But then Verdugo landed in their laps. And then he said, hey, wait a second. Instead of just getting one or the other, why don't we just get both? Why don't we just get all three? Because the Padres obviously wanted to unload Grisham as well because of the $5 million that he would have made through arbitration. I believe he was awarded close to that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Brian Cashman did not intend on getting Verdugo and Juan Soto. It was one or the other. But he was smart enough to realize, hey, we could actually end up with both of these guys. And he did just that. It's kind of cool how all this stuff works, how all of this happens. If Brian Cashman is just embellishing and really not being truthful, well, shame on him. But if this is all true, when it comes to Blake Snell and Monty, or when it comes to just really wanting Juan Soto or Verdugo and end up getting both of them, I find that fascinating and so freaking cool. I love behind the scenes stuff. I love when stuff like this gets not leaked out because it came from Brian Cashman himself, but I love when they share this stuff. Brian Cashman seemed to be a wonderful guest for John Boy and Talking Jake, or Jake, I should say. Why am I saying Talking Jake? But Talking Yanks did a stupendous job on that interview. I highly recommend you guys go check that out right after when I'm finished with you. But listen, thank you guys so much for watching. We have channel memberships in the description if that interests you. This is Joe, and until next time, signing out. And to all of our channel members here at The Shift, thank you guys. It means a lot.